All right, pre-show shenanigans. First and foremost, it is another flu pod for your boy. Don't know what I have. Happy that I have it right now.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it might not exactly be the flu. You
And no,
sound
no, it's
pretty
not the
good.
flu, but I do have to like insinuate it. I have Pete Davidson kind of butthole eyes right now, though. That's
Okay,
a problem. So give me a little bit of a break. But we're powering through. I've had a one Kobe Bryant body armor.
Could you
And
imagine if the main symptom of COVID was you get butthole eyes?
Yeah, I've had one Kobe Bryant body armor,
Okay.
and I have had one Joe Burrow signature bottle of body armor.
Okay. So you're good.
So
That's why
I should
you're
be I
completely
should
fine.
be okay. Yeah, no. For like the next hour. Joe Burrow is well, I was gonna say something that probably wouldn't have come out the right way. I have the Mamba mentality right now. We'll put it that way
All
from
right.
from
That's
Kobe
a better
Bryant, all right?
better phrase to use describing
Yeah.
the situation.
The pre-show that I was gonna go into though, I'm pretty sure
Oh, that wasn't it?
No,
We weren't going to discuss Joe Burrow
we could
having
discuss
to
Joe
personally
Burrow having
hand
a
sign
personal
all of
hand
those
sign.
body armor bottles.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but
Definitely
he
not
actually
just
came to my
printed
house
on.
today, and he like every time you buy a bottle, he has to like come to you and physically sign it
Oh
in
yeah, he
person.
hand delivers all those actually.
No, not even
We
hand
should
delivers. You
see.
buy them. He then gets a notice saying, "Hey, kid in New Orleans bought a bottle of body armor. Got to fly out there." Comes down,
Yeah, I mean,
signs it, leaves.
yeah. I mean, next time you
It's
see
like
an
Santa
18
Claus
wheeler
everywhere at
hauling
once.
ass, check who's driving. It might
Joe
be
Burrow.
Joey Burr. But
Hey,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
got time on his hands right now. He's got times on his hands.
Oh
He's got
yeah,
time on
oh
it.
yeah, he does.
Um,
And after that paycheck, that might be his passion now. His heart might not be in football anymore.
hey, don't disrespect
On a
Joey B like
per
that.
year
He is
basis,
the
he's
only
the
man.
highest paid player of all time, correct?
He's the
Not just
only
quarterback.
active man in the NFL who has been able to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
Active, yes.
Active.
That is true.
So,
That is true.
so hey,
Yeah.
we'll get into that too. I saw a cool stat about that. But the actual pre-show I was gonna do. I don't know if you saw this. Everybody, especially if you're in college, you know Hydro Flask. You know somebody inevitably knocks it over, bangs on the ground, it makes a really
it's the
really
fire
annoying.
alarm goes off when someone knocks over their hydro flask.
You're just sitting there, you're like, oh my god, please. Now there's another version, the Stanleys. There's Stanley brand.
Oh, I think I've seen these. Oh, that was the cup that was in the car that exploded.
That
and
exploded.
The cup was completely intact.
Yeah. It has lead in it.
We got to call up their engineers. Oh,
it has lead in it. Is now what has come out.
Okay. Are we canceling them now? Is it time to cancel?
I mean,
what are they called again? Stanleys.
Stanleys.
That's a funny
fits. Name. It fits.
A Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
What's the other? Stanley Cup Hydro Flask. What's the thermos? No.
A thermos. It's just like what you have.
Thermos. Yeah, that's for soup.
I'm not. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not up to date with all. All I remember is there's the pink. There's the pink Starbucks one that everybody was. I don't know what brand it was though.
I think it starts with an S. Swiss bottles, sweet bottles,
sweet bottles. I don't know about
swell
that.
Swell bottles.
I have never heard of that. That's I'm like picturing a tiny little plastic water bottle.
Thin neck, small neck. Look it up. I guarantee you've seen one.
That's just a normal no, that's not a brand specific water bottle. That's like you
gotta look up swell bottle to find it. So I'm staring
at it, but like more than that company makes those kind of water bottles. I swear to God, I've never seen that water bottle.
Flask makes those kind.
I've never seen.
I'm just bringing up another brand of bottle. Damn it. Okay. All right. Shit. You want to go back to the throwback gate, which, by the way, the best water bottles of all time, the Gatorade squirt bottles.
You refer by its proper name. Oh, I thought you were talking about the twist tops. My bad.
No.
My bad.
I'm talking football practice.
Yeah.
The throwback, the classic.
The throwback. By the way, they have those now where you just crack it open and you like slam a pod in it. Those are cool.
And the first and only time I ever done that was actually with you. The Gatorade pod.
Yeah, I don't know where that bottle went. Well, actually, I know where the bottle went. Maybe. I don't know. But I had it at one point. Right. It's not with me.
Good to know. Thank you for updating. Thank you for letting us know. We were worried where that went.
Hey,
was that? Is
I
that
can tell you it's not here
like
because I've replaced it with my Joe Burrow patent pending signature body armor bottle.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think that might be enough water bottle talk. I'm getting slightly bored already.
Water
we could
bottle
talk
for
about
the Water Boys.
I mean, if anything, if we want to continue this, I'd love to discuss the profit that Mr. Kobe Bean Bryant made off of his initial investment in body armor.
Oh my God, so much money. But I don't know. We start turning into an economics podcast. I don't know how enjoyable that's going to be.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how much people want to learn finance from the Waterboy podcast. But in case you guys want that, we might be starting up Waterboy Day Traders. That might be starting up pretty soon here. So we'll see. We are not financial advisors. Only if you trust us, then we are. But yeah.
Bold move, Cotton. Bold move there.
Yeah. Is that all though? Is that all?
Yeah. No, that we were kind of playing with a little bit of improv. So
yeah, I think that one's gonna. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Okay. All right. Without further ado, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today it is episode 192, and we have a massive Pro Bowl to discuss. I'm just kidding. I'm not even sure if we're going to bring that up today.
I honestly could not tell you who is in the Pro Bowl right now.
Yeah,
besides Gardner Minshew.
Yes, I know Minshew's in it, and I think Baker was selected as a reserve.
Yeah, I did see that.
So I don't think technically he's in it yet, but by nature, someone ahead of him will drop out, and Baker will be in that flag football game. Okay, he will be the third quarter flag football quarterback for the NFC. The NFC.
Oh my God, I forgot it was flag football now.
Yeah, I think they have like a skills check, which has been there.
So if you're an offensive lineman, like what do you do? What are you there for?
Post up and you good meals, paid meals.
Is it still in Vegas? Do we know?
I'm not.
Be a very lucrative 2 weeks for
Oh, I think it might be in South Florida. Let me check.
I was gonna say it would be a very lucrative 2 weeks for Las Vegas right now.
The Pro Bowl is in Orlando. Okay. So they're going to Disney World.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that sucks.
Bring the Pro Bowl back to Hawaii.
Unless I was a guy like Minshew, God damn it. Tyler Huntley, unless I was one of those guys where you don't get stabs at this very often. Like I would
Seahawks it fans.
Every single, like Josh Allen,
Seahawks fans.
He'll never go to a Super Bowl and he'll make the Pro Bowl every year. I will never participate in that shit if I'm
Seahawks fans.
Okay.
You were mad at me for getting rid of Geno, a Pro Bowl quarterback, because I gave you Gardner Minshew and Tyler Huntley plus a quarterback you draft. I'm replacing.
Can you remind me of the status of those two quarterbacks?
Yeah, I'm replacing one Pro Bowl quarterback with not one, but two Pro Bowl quarterbacks.
Did Geno make a Pro Bowl last year? Yeah, definitely.
I think he's on it this year, actually. Maybe it was last year, but I don't know.
This year he gets it.
Maybe. I don't know.
That'd be very NFL. But yeah. Today's going to be a bit of a more less structured episode. This is the first weekend without football in months. The Pro Bowl doesn't count. This is weird. Usually we're doing our picks. Usually when it's a Wednesday, I'm sitting there peeping the schedule, hopefully praying you don't give me a text like, hey, can you quickly remind me what the games are right before we, all these checks in my head, which we don't have this week.
All I'm saying is when I did that, I actually did better than when I actually went out of my way to have them done beforehand.
The less I know, the better. Okay. The less insight, the less this dumb brain actually thinks about the outcome of a game, the more
the better I do.
The less I think, the better. Okay. Because odds are, don't go with your gut when it comes to picks. But okay. We're actually going to talk about the National Basketball Association today, Everett. I know it's been a while. It's been a very long time. It might have been the NBA Finals the last time we brought it up. And I think after the NBA Finals, we probably announced we will not speak about this again until post Super Bowl. So that's not correct. We did it pre-Super Bowl, everybody. So that's right for all of our NBA stands out there. Okay. Everett, I'm not sure. I know you haven't been following the NBA very, very much. Neither have I. But the big problem around the NBA this year is that the NBA has a bit of a scoring problem on their hands. Fun fact of the day. Currently in the NBA, there is an average of 116 points scored per game per team. So that's both sides. Over 300 or not 300, over 230 points a game. Okay.
Much different.
That's ridiculous.
Not remotely close to 300.
Yes, but the scoring is up at all-time highs, going back to the 80s when the last time it was this high.
Now, I honestly don't know if I'd consider that a problem. As a non-consistent viewer of the NBA, I feel like I get more bored when there's less scoring. I want more scoring.
But I agree, just from the stance of the pure numbers. We want to see points. But what has been the biggest argument towards guys like us not wanting to watch the NBA over the past 5, 6, 7 years?
Boring.
They don't do what? What do they not do, Everett? They don't play what? They don't play defense. Okay. That's been the big fucking complaint. No one plays fucking defense. Okay. No one gives a flying fuck. You just let them shoot threes. No one defends shit. That's big. That's been the big complaint. Okay. And I've personally been a little confuzzled, a little conflicted on this debate. You know, part of me is thinking that to a degree, defenses maybe just haven't evolved as offenses have evolved. You know, like we casually just allowed traveling hitting step back threes over the past 10
James
years.
Harden.
So it's, you know, those are things we got to make up for and correct. Yeah,
well, I mean, it's like also
Harden,
that's it's because
we
it's
shit
because
on James
rules,
Harden for doing that, but Luka, no one says shit.
It's because
when he
the
does
rules
it 10 times
changed to be like there's more. You're more likely to be called on a foul, right? So people have just been like, all right, I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be physical unless you're fucking Draymond Green. And I'm
the unwritten Adam Silver rule where if you are a superstar and you are a star player, you get extra foul calls.
Unless you're Anthony Edwards.
Rule.
Unless you're Anthony Edwards.
Oh yeah, no, then you get technicals. Then you get technicals.
If anything.
But I was just doing
the foul calls.
Yeah. I was just doing some more digging though, because the points per game are up. However, this isn't the highest average points per game in a season in NBA history. Okay. That's actually took place in the 60s-ish, in that period where basketball didn't exist and the Celtics won like 90 straight NBA finals playing against plumbers. When that happened, though, I was looking at the field goal percentage numbers because I'm confused as to how that era could have scored more points when they did not even have a 3-point line implemented. Yeah. For this season, the NBA is shooting about 48% from the field. Okay. That is one of the highest numbers in NBA history. When the scoring was higher in the 60s, they were averaging around 43% from the field, about 5% difference, major difference. I was trying to look it up. I'm pretty sure back then a reach-in foul would equal free throws for the other team. That's why.
If it was
that
called.
Is why. Yes, any foul was free throws. So that's why. So, my big problem right now with the NBA is how easy it is to score. They're shooting 48% from the field. I think now the NBA has done this in the past. I had to look this up. I personally wasn't quite educated on this on my own, but the NBA has implemented rules in the past to either increase or decrease scoring. Okay. And they can do it again. So right now, because the field goal percentage is so high, the problem is that it's too easy to score and it's too hard to defend. So what did the NBA do in 2001 to limit Allen Iverson and Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan ISO basketball? What did they do? Now, I didn't realize this back then. Before 2001,
because you weren't alive.
Yeah, well, that and also I just did not know much about basketball in general. Before 2001, you had to play man-to-man defense. You could not run zone. You had to play man-to-man. And that, and also there was no 3 in the key back then. So to increase scoring, to eliminate ISO ball, they implemented zone defenses. They put in a 3 in the key. You can't just sit there, post it up. And like they made some pretty notable changes to the way scoring happens to increase scoring then. Right now, it's the other way around. And, MLB, their guys were taking steroids, so a slightly different reason to cut back the scoring when that happened. But for right now in the NBA, like, the sport has evolved to a point that offense is just too high. Like, when we're looking at NBA record books, and
you just have to dial back the
Brunson
foul
as like
calls.
a top 10 scorer.
If you get like at this point,
I'm not even sure if that's even it.
Well, no, they're so ticky-tack about who gets what foul calls, what a foul is. Like, for example, we were kind of joking about Anthony Edwards before, right? But this past week, they were playing against OKC. They ended up winning the game, but Anthony Edwards is getting, like, every time he goes to the rim, he's getting contact. Like, Shea was hitting him in the arms. Like, he wasn't getting called. Like, he had to go through contact to score, right? If you're not going to call that a foul, but call that a foul for other players, then just have it not be a foul at all. If you want to make defenses better, then stop like hurting people for being a little bit more physical and dial that back, because over the last 10 years, we've seen the NBA become more and more of a ticky-tack foul league and reduce the physicality of the game. Now, I'm not saying become Draymond Green and beat the shit out of somebody on the ground, right? I'm not saying that.
No, but like aggressive.
But I'm saying
slashing playmakers like Anthony Edwards, like old LeBron, like let them drive.
Think about it this way. In the Olympics, right? Think about it in the Olympics. Kobe Bryant drove straight through Paul Gasol. Straight through. Correct. That's what I want to see. That's what the physicality.
Okay.
All right. That's the kind of physicality that we need. Like, obviously, that's still a foul. That's a charge. That's a charge. But in this kind of NBA right now, you would be ejected from the game for that. Once again, unless you're Draymond Green. But
no, you'd be suspended.
No, like, you actually would not be allowed. Like, you're now on their target.
You literally
list.
have to serve a game suspension for that.
So, like, allow them to be physical, not to the point where obviously people are going to get hurt, but like, you got to play through content. Like, we want backyard, like, it's going to kind of be more backyard basketball-esque, like 2010s basketball, not whatever the fuck it's been the last 5 years.
I mean, I think a lot of the problems right now is that the NBA now, like, the easiest way to score is, shoot threes. 3 is more than 2. We have learned that from the Warriors. It's not that hard to come up with that math. The problem now is that it's just like every single dude on the court can shoot. Like if you can't shoot, you're not in the NBA pretty much at this point. And that basketball is now just becoming like there's at minimum one guy in every starting rotation on earth right now in the NBA whose sole job on offense is to stand in the corner and do nothing. Like, if you move, you're messing up the offense. Fucking stay put.
They just need to allow, like, the whole thing is, like, you can't defend the perimeter, because if you get in there, either one, it's Steph Curry and it doesn't matter, or 2, if you get in their face, you're going to get called for something. It's just, the referees are so, this is a problem across multiple different sports, but specifically in the NBA, the referees are so, like, instantaneous about calling fouls and doing these things that nobody wants to even get close to it, because also, like, you're either going to get a foul call or it's like it turns the game around. Like, it's going to be the same way on both sides. So why are you even going to risk it? Why are you going to care?
Yeah, I feel like they need to make some change. I can't even fathom what the change could be.
I mean, you can move the 3-point line back a little bit. You could implement more physicality, especially on the perimeter. Like,
I'm thinking they would never approve it. Could we increase the width of the court? No, that makes it that makes it worse. That makes it worse.
That's also a money issue.
Yeah, I think the NBA could sort that one out, though. I'm thinking what could be done, because right now the way the NBA is played, like,
you can reduce the shot clock.
Is not good basketball, but I will watch that a million times.
You can reduce the shot clock. You can implement more physicality. You can try to bring the 3-point line back. You can
reducing shot clock could be interesting. That could be interesting. Maybe there can be a rule I think this might be a little too much, but a rule of the maximum amount of time a player can hold on to the ball before they
You can't do that because they're going to start. You can't. They're not.
No,
if
I know,
you're
you
asking them
can't.
to do math in their head, like it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, and they can't do the math for the 3 in the key already, so no way they could do it for that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think we do know though there is a scoring problem. I definitely think there is. I think if the NBA's ultimate goal is to push stars, market their star athletes like it has been for the past 30 years, then keep doing what you're doing. All right, Luka, he might become the most hated man on the planet in a couple years when people finally realize what he's doing. But for now, let it ride, baby. Go to the moon. So yeah, I think that's up to them what they want to do. I was just looking at that, thinking of the MLB runs argument. I feel like it's just way different situations there. So
yeah,
I mean, I was real quick. If I could just a little MLB thing that I was looking up. Um, just some trends that I was looking up for the increased scoring and other things that are a little strange now. Baseball is kind of changing. Everett of the lowest, the 15 lowest league-wide seasons in the MLB for balls in play. So essentially batting average. The 15 lowest season-wide averages for it. Guess which years those have occurred in terms of recent memory.
lowest batting average.
Yeah, just per season, per league, the 15 lowest seasons. Guess how many of those years have came recently in the past 10, 20 seasons?
In the last 10, give me a 10 or 20. Which one? In the last 10 seasons?
20. In the last 20 seasons, how many are in the top 15 of all time lowest batting average in MLB history?
11.
It's actually 15. The last 15 MLB seasons have been the 15 lowest batting averages in MLB history. Despite that, though, runs are up. The only thing that I can think of and look at to make this make sense and point out is that home runs are through the roof right now. Baseball is just about home runs right now. That is all that matters. And I am now starting to think that maybe when it comes to pitching approach, I don't really necessarily care about the whip or the ERA per se, but the home runs per nine. Are you getting rocked like fucking Lance Lynn, like Kershaw? Are you getting rocked or not?
I mean, also just from a fan perspective, we had this argument before, but like if I'm going to see a baseball game, if I'm going to a baseball game with my friends, especially if I don't follow baseball that much, I will not
contest the increased juice balls. We're not contesting that.
That's great. A good thing.
And great for Dodgers too. Yeah, so no problems there. No problems there.
Great.
I just think it's quite interesting that the hits per season are down by so much, but home runs are still up. Everyone's just going launch angle now. Everything is about getting out of the park, fucking going deep.
Unless you're Luis Arias.
Guaranteed run. Yeah, no. We still have some purists in the sport, okay? There are still some people who love the game of baseball, like Luis Arias. So we champion Luis Arias. We champion Miguel Vargas for not being able to hit home runs. Like, we champion these guys who just focus on playing ball, getting on base, getting to second, and scoring in a run off a sac fly, okay? That is what this sport is about. But yeah, they're just fun things I want to look up. The last 15 seasons have been the 15 lowest season-wide batting averages in MLB history. So,
okay.
Or balls in play. Balls in play.
I want to do a little college football Senior Bowl action.
Yeah, we can pretty much mark this up as an NFL draft segment, but yes,
essentially, it will be transitioning into the NFL with this, but and with the draft with this. But first and foremost, our former guest, our former water boy with us, Quan, is at the Senior Bowl, balling out, by the way. So
yes,
little, finger snaps for him, finger snaps
all around, snaps all around for Quan.
I'm expecting if you're listening to this, you better be fucking snapping with us. Hold on.
I will never forget when he just casually brought up like, oh yeah, my uncle's Ed Reed. Like, what? Well, excuse me. We got to go over that one a little bit more. What? But yeah.
You guys can go check that episode out and on YouTube in our playlist. So go there. But he's there, and so is our quarterback of the year award winner, Lefty Dickstrong award winner. inaugural
quarterback.
Michael Pratt, who has also been looking very, very good. Apparently has been turning a lot of heads to no one's surprise, at least to not mine. But somebody who has not been looking good, Joe Milton and Bo Nix.
Oh, we're calling out names. Oh, yeah. I mean, Joe Milton, as expected, that one makes sense. I thought to a degree that maybe Joe Milton
it's as expected, but also people
with his measurements and physicals.
Still, people recognize the name and give him overhype because of like, oh my god, they just see big arm.
Did you know he went to Michigan and transferred?
Vaguely, yeah, I vaguely knew that. You probably wish he was still there, but
yep.
But him and then Bo Nix, there's a clip going around right now of Bo Nix throwing a deep ball to Roman Wilson in practice. I think that the DB in coverage was Toledo guys, Quinion something. He's like a top corner in this year's draft class as well. Roman Wilson torched him over the top. Quinion Mitchell. Yep. Roman Wilson torched him over the top. Looked great. Got out. Great release. I'm going to give him his flowers. All right. Great release. Bo Nix threw the ball 5 yards short.
Oh, under
on the deep ball. Yikes. With like 2 yards of separation between Roman Wilson and Quinion.
Bosif. I'm pretty sure they confirmed Bo just is his full name. Like he has a 5-letter full name.
Now, I know he's getting a lot of hate right now, being like, people are like, why the fuck would you draft him in the first round? He's a one-read guy. I know that. If you're a Vikings fan,
still talking about Bo Nix?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you're a Vikings fan, even if you are on the
flip this into a pro Bo Nix,
I'm
curious.
If you are saying, you know what, like give him a chance. If Bo Nix cannot throw a deep ball to Justin Jefferson or Jordan Addison, even if it is one fucking read, if it's one read, the best offense to be in the NFL is the offense where you can throw it to the best wide receiver in the NFL or Tyreek Hill. So if it's one read, at least be that part. But if you can't throw the deep ball to them, oh, it's fucked. That's chalked. Like you cannot draft him. Like there's no way, especially if Kirk Cousins doesn't come back and he has to start immediately. No way you can play him. Not a possibility.
Bosif. Okay.
Bosif.
Yeah. Bosif. Yeah. I'm pretty sure his legal name on the birth certificate just says Bo Nix. I don't think Bo's short for anything. But yeah, I just want to say real quick, regardless what happens in his NFL career, just his story is just
great.
When I just think of like from him being number 1 quarterback in his class from Alabama, grew up diehard Auburn fans from the state of Alabama, not Tuscaloosa. From where is Auburn? Where is Auburn located? What city?
I don't know.
That's real bad on me. I should fucking know that. But god damn it. Now I'm a noob. I'm a casual, guys. I know. I can't even fucking finish the fucking point now that I just exposed myself.
You'll never guess where Auburn is.
No, I know Jordan Hare's where they play. Damn it.
You will never guess where Auburn is.
It's in Auburn, Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're overtaking it a little too much.
Yeah, I guess I might have been correct there the first time saying Auburn. But okay. God.
That's even worse.
Going from Auburn, beating Alabama in the Iron Bowl as a true freshman, losing, I guess technically losing the job, and then going to Oregon with Dan Lanning and not making the college football playoff, but being right there on the cusp, bringing Oregon kind of back
doing
to
better each season that he played.
I don't know. He progressed every single year. He has the most starts in college football history. So yeah, Bo Nix. I hope he doesn't become a trivia question later in life.
Now you know who does have a very pretty deep ball?
CJ Stroud.
Michael Pratt.
Okay. Yeah. We forgot. We're talking about upcoming draft prospects.
Very pretty.
Yeah. Michael Pratt does a lot of things beautifully. Not just throwing the deep ball. Have you seen that man? Isn't he like an architect or some shit like Andrew Luck? I'm probably pulling this one out of my ass.
He architects football wins.
He architects the perfect. Well, he doesn't. Fuck it. Michael Pratt architects the perfect game plan. He is his own OC, and he knows how to carve up everyone.
Yeah. 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 No,
That's just facts.
better, no more true words have been
Ask
spoken.
Alex Grinch.
I don't know. I don't know if Alex Grinch going to talk about that one. There might be some PTSD there.
Yeah, a new DB coach at Wisconsin, by the way, Alex Grinch. But yeah, more Senior Bowl stuff though that I did find quite interesting that I just want to point out. So found a lot of these isn't exactly Senior Bowl, just draft stuff.
Yeah.
Found a lot of very, very, very interesting charts, kind of breaking down different prospects, kind of comparing them, a little more specific numbers than just your basic like yards and yards per catch or like catch rate, yada, yada, yada. So, slightly more in-depth stats. And these are yards per route run stats in man versus zone for the top NFL prospects, wide receiver prospects. So I've got, I believe this is 30 wide receivers listed right here.
Is Quan on there?
They do not have.
All right, now I can't trust this source anymore.
I just want to go over some other big names other than Quan in this upcoming draft. So starting off with my guy, my hero, Marvin Harrison Jr. 3.28 yards per route run versus man. Very elite. 2.94 yards per route run versus zone. Also very elite. Pretty much if you're at close to 3, around 3 or higher, that's elite shit. Marv's up there. He doesn't have the best numbers though. The best overall numbers belongs to Tez Johnson, Oregon receiver, 3.5 yards per route run versus man. Let me repeat that. 3.5 yards per route run versus man. Okay. So that's yards per route run. When he runs a route, that's how many yards he averages on passing plays that he's running a route on. Okay. That's ridiculous. In zone, he's averaging 3 yards per route run. Another crazy. Tez Johnson is a name. Keep your eye on. Okay. Keep an eye on him. Let's do another big name guy.
Xavier Worthy.
Sure. Let's do Xavier Worthy. 2.6 man yards per route run. Very good. 2.4 zone yards per route run. Also very good. Right there. Yeah, I guess they have targets per route run. We could skip by that. Odunze, elite numbers. 2.9 in man. 2.6 in zone. Okay. And let's do Malik Neighbors. Okay. 2.84 in man. 3.13 in zone. Okay. Malik Neighbors, that's some crazy shit right there out of him. That's some very good stuff. Let's talk about some other big name guys. Lad McConkey, guy out of Georgia. A lot of people are comparing him to Cooper Kupp because he's a white guy. So Lad McConkey got a 2.3 man yards per route run, pretty solid. And you know what? They might have a point with this white guy. 3.04 yards per route run in zone, third highest in college football. So you could say he knows his coverages and he knows those soft spots in the defenses, right, guys? Okay. Let's get to the real thing that we're here for. A.D. Mitchell, big name out of Texas. Everyone knows A.D. Mitchell. He has the lowest yards per route run in man and the second lowest in zone. He averages 1.34 yards per route run against man, which is fucking atrocious.
Not great.
Atrocious. He averages 1.7 yards per route run in zone. Deplorable, disgusting. It's like he's not even on the field, essentially. They throw that ball to Xavier Worthy, or Xavier Worthy has much more meaningful touches when he does get the ball thrown to him. Pretty much these charts, they're kind of just breaking down usage rates, comparing it with your yards and whatnot. And the higher up you are on this list, the more dominant alpha you are, and the higher chance of you being able to step into your NFL team and being a top 2 wide receiver from day one.
Please tell me you have these stats, but for last year's draft class.
A couple. I'll need to dig.
I
have a
one.
few.
There's one person I'm gonna ask for specifically from last year's, and you know exactly who it is.
So I have total yards per route run, not broken up into man and zone, but I have that going back to 2020, every single first round wide receiver. So do you want to hear Jalen Reagor first or Quentin Johnston?
We want to hear Quentin Johnston.
Okay.
That's what we want.
Quentin Johnston. God damn it, he passes this test. I'm shocked.
So now everything's out the window. Everything.
Quentin
Johnson,
Johnson,
it's not reliable.
Quentin Johnson had a higher yards per route run than Jordan Addison and Zay Flowers. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I didn't know.
So this is just not.
Well,
this is just
wait.
Not.
Oh, I know why. Yeah, Quentin Johnson also just had significantly less targets than every other person on this list, making his
everything inflated.
Opportunities worth more. Yeah, we're gonna discount that one. Just real quick, if we're just gonna go big numbers here. Of potential first round draftees, going back to 2020, including Reagor, including Quentin Johnson, Keon Coleman would have the lowest yards per route run out of all.
So you're telling me you should not draft Keon Coleman?
In the first round, no.
Do you think he will get drafted in the first round?
Probably not.
Where do you think he would get drafted? Start there.
I would say mid-second.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if he fell to late second.
Okay. Speaking about first round,
he has the measurables and the attributes and
the one thing that we've always we talked about this though. There are so many highly regarded wide receivers in this draft class, and obviously not all of them are going to be surefire picks, and not all of them are going to be not all of them are going to do well in the NFL. Like that's just never happened that way. Which is amazing considering last year's wide receiver crop. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, look at these wide receivers!" Right? It was more so running backs, I guess, last year. But looking at these wide receivers, I feel like in recent memory, this is the most amount of wide receivers for people. They're gonna span picks first round to third round, but all are gonna be highly condensed in those first day and a half of picks.
Yeah, I could see a lot of receivers going by round 4. I think it's pretty safe to say we'll have double digits by round 4. The question is how much over double digits is it going to be? If we're just looking first round, Marv, Neighbors, Odunze, they're all top 10. So that's 3. Would you throw... I don't think I would take Xavier Worthy around.
I've heard high second rounds on Keon Coleman, Xavier Worthy, but they could also sneak in Wilson from FSU. He might just by intangibles might sneak in. AD Mitchell's also up there in the probably early mid second round.
He's got the lowest yards per route run in this class, so.
Quan up there in the early second round.
Yeah.
First round.
There are a lot of names. There are a lot of names in here that
Luke McCaffrey's in there. Could make some. Lad McConkey is in there.
Luke McCaffrey?
Luke McCaffrey. There's a McCaffrey in the draft.
Where did he play?
Rice.
Oh.
Very good wide receiver.
I just recently saw that former Michigan quarterback Dylan McCaffrey, no longer playing football, he now operates and owns his own mushroom business. So shout out Dylan. Shout out Dylan. Right. I saw that. I was like, oh, that's quite a career change from football.
We'll assume for it that it's also shiitake mushrooms, we're picking up in the grocery store. No, we're going to assume that that's what it is, Grant. We're assuming that that's what it is.
Well, it's legal in his state.
Oh, okay. Then it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, all right, Dylan.
Definitely a career change.
Into that industry.
Definitely a career change. Yeah, Luke McCaffrey's in it. McConkey, another name.
Yeah.
Trying to think of some other guys. Here's just something that's
I really like Tez Walker a lot, Troy Franklin,
oh,
Malachi
that's right.
Corley, Jacob Cowing. Those were guys
Isn't
preseason I
Dorian
thought
Singer
were
in this draft as well?
not going to the draft and not an NFL player. So
Brendan Rice as well, isn't he or no?
he is.
He
Is going
is.
to the draft.
Okay.
Yes. I shat all over Brendan Rice last year. Like I fucking destroyed him. He took a massive step up this year.
Yeah, that
It's not
started
like
in the
he's a
Cotton Bowl.
second first round prospect, but yeah, I mean Brendan Rice can
He'll get drafted
in the
for the
NFL.
sole basis. His last name is Rice. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Although
that
to be fair,
helps.
Thaddeus Moss did not get drafted out of LSU. So
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know what
That one's
I think he's
slightly
on a
different,
practice.
though.
I think he's on a practice squad right now. But it doesn't matter. Interesting thing just regarding the draft, regarding the Vikings quarterbacks. Bleacher Report has a projected price for the Vikings to be able to trade up to the first overall pick. This projection has them trading 3 first-round picks, 2 seconds, and a third.
Okay.
For the number 1 overall pick. 3 first rounders, 2 seconds, and a third.
Let's just say I ask you this. Do you think that the Vikings would be competitive, competing to win Super Bowls over the next 2 to 3 seasons with Caleb Williams? Do you think that's all you need to push yourself to that stage?
I don't think that that's all we need because I think the defense kind of needs an overhaul. But if you spend correctly in free agency.
Yeah, now I'm looking at it from a short term. Let's now look 8-year, long-term outlook.
Yes, it's
worth it. Is it worth it taking Caleb Williams to undergo?
Assuming that you think that he's going to be a generational prospect, I honestly do think that if you're the Vikings, you would have to decide between Drake May and Caleb Williams. I don't think it's surefire Caleb Williams at 1 pick, which is why I think it might be better to trade to 2 if we're going to trade up, just because it innately just falls to you. And it will cost less. But think about it this way. Okay, we trade a first and second this year. We're going to get a first back. Okay, so technically we're only losing a second this year. We still have our 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th picks. The following year, we lose both our 1st and 2nd, so we just have that 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Following year, the next year we would lose our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, so it would be 4, 5, 6, 7. And the following year after that, it's just the 1st. We'd have 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Honestly, if you can hit those late rounds, 4, 5, 6, 7, and also you probably can trade to get some higher picks too. I don't think that that's that bad of a deal. You're not trading fucking DJ Moore with 3 first-round picks and a second to get Bryce Young. It's not that. You still have Justin Jefferson, still have Jordan Addison. You'll have a lot of cap space because now you're at a quarterback with a rookie contract. You have a whole offensive line set up. You have now an inside linebacker that you're going to have for a long time. You can re-sign Daniil Hunter. You have Mekhi Blackman, who's doing very well. You still have to get some hopefully some defensive backs free agency and another safety, but like the pieces are there to come together as long as you can do the rest of it right. And it's not going to be 100%, but if you can get like 85%, 80%, then you're good. So if it was me, like I would be willing to take that price for the sole basis of feeling like I can get everything else done. And I have enough faith to where I believe, but also if you can't get it done in general and you can't win with at quarterback, you can't get to a place where you're competitive, then obviously you shouldn't be the coach in general. So, I mean,
there's that aspect too. I've just looked at some more of these charts, looking a little bit closer. One thing that really, really interests me, looking through these things, they mark down the percentage of receptions that these receivers had in college that ended up being first downs. And I mean, it's not the exact perfect end all be all. Like I think that stat to a degree just kind of tracks for example, Zay Flowers is the lowest person on this list. And I think that could make a lot of sense that he could be low in first downs per target because he probably catches a lot of screens on 1st and 10.
Screens or just
aren't going for first downs. So like it's not the end all be all stat. I'm just looking at this, and in terms of recent memory, lot of these big name guys, the benchmark, if you're over 50% of your receptions as first downs, odds are you're going to be pretty good at football. Okay. Here's the list. Okay. CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson was at 49%. So that counts. CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, JSN, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Troy Franklin would be on that list. So in this class, the three guys in that range would be Marv, Malik Neighbors, and Troy Franklin, not Rome Odunze. Now, obviously not the end-all be-all stat, but I feel like what is football kind of about on offense? Moving the chains, getting first downs. And if you have an alpha wide receiver who just gets first downs at will, like Justin Jefferson, I remember looking up recently, his first down to catch ratio was ridiculous, way above everyone else in the league this year. Now, I know he didn't play the full season, but like
which is even
that
crazier.
shows a dominant receiver and the impact he has on the offense. Throw that bitch the ball, first down. Like,
yeah, somebody was trying to tell me that I should take him out for another fucking player in my top 10 wide receivers. No, fuck you. That's exactly. They were saying put DJ Moore in ahead of him. No, this is exactly why we don't do that.
Never
right?
Bears wide receivers, you dummies. But yes.
Okay. Another
DJ
thing.
Moore also had like 80% of his production in that one game when he had like.
You mean that one
touchdowns.
screen pass that he like had like 80 yards off of on the first fucking play from scrimmage?
That game, yes.
That game.
That game. He had like 6 screen 50-yard touchdowns. I was like, what are we watching?
I got a little ESPN stat for you here. I say ESPN, it's not literally from ESPN, but it's like an ESPN. It would be what ESPN comes up with.
Okay.
15 of the last 18 Super Bowl winners have worn white jerseys.
I feel like this is a trend we picked up on. And because it's 15 out of 18 and not 18 out of 18, now I really love it. No,
yeah, because there's a little breaking up in there.
Yeah, like we're talking overall trend percentage here.
Now,
it's like
49ers are wearing white this year. Patrick Mahomes is 3-1 in a dome.
No, they're not losing. Yeah, Chiefs.
Now, here's the only other thing that I was thinking.
It's not a streak.
I was thinking about this, right? The whole reason why it was kind of scripted, we'll say, I mean, in quotation, scripted. Like,
what do you mean by? Okay. Oh.
But the whole reason why we are insinuating that the Chiefs made it there was because the NFL makes so much money off of Taylor Swift. They want to get that revenue, and that's why they want the Chiefs to be there so they can make that money, right? Because more people will watch it.
Yeah.
Now, what does it matter who wins? Why does it matter if the Chiefs win? Because the revenue is already going to be gotten by that point. There's no impact. There's no impact. It's arguably if they lose, it's even better because now there's like that feeling from those new fans who are like, man, almost had it. And you have them on the edge of their seat.
Very good.
And it's like the satisfaction is not there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's break this down. I feel like, you know what? You're correct. Okay. The Chiefs are playing in the Super Bowl. Okay. The goal of the NFL is to have eyes watching the damn Super Bowl. And as of right now, mission has been accomplished. Okay. We did it. So let's think now for the NFL, we have just secured the highest possible financial return given the Taylor Swift situation for us this year by securing the Chiefs. Okay. Remember, hear that fraud alert. Keep that in mind. But if we are going to look at a now long-term perspective, how can we carry this over into next season? Would the Chiefs losing the Super Bowl do more than them winning and going on a victory tour? Like
I think let's put it this way.
Everett.
Let's think about it this way.
I got it. The second the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, Taylor Swift announces her Super Bowl championship tour. Done.
Let's think about it this way.
Over.
What happens if this happens? Though?
It's over. Vince Carter meme. Over.
No, what if this happens though? They lose, right? If they lose, those fans would be like, damn, I'm not satisfied. I didn't get like the ultimate.
And by
I didn't
those
get that
fans,
ultimate
we
film.
are talking about Swifties, correct?
I mean, the 330 new million people watching. So most likely, yes. I'm not satisfied. They have their team now. Their team is going to be the Chiefs. They're going to be wherever Travis Kelce is, right? Most likely the Chiefs. I'm not satisfied. That's not enough. Now I have to watch this whole next season so that I can have that. I can watch and have the satisfaction, right? Now, what if Travis Kelce retires, right? What happens then, right? Then there's no more Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's not there anymore unless Travis Kelce is there, right? Okay. Now, if he retires and they don't win, those fans are going to be left with a pit, right? You're left with a pit. You now have this feeling of wanting to watch football, and it hasn't been satisfied yet because Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce didn't walk off on that happy ending. You can't be like, oh, I'm good now. I don't need to watch it anymore because I've now seen they won, they're gone, they're happy, they're getting married, right?
My mind just went to one place of how the NFL can capitalize off that, but keep going. I have a suggestion.
They lose. So now those same fans are like, you know what? I actually did like that. I didn't get the satisfaction, and I need to watch this again so that I can see Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift just coming back, and I can have that satisfaction, right?
Yes. What's your idea to get?
I'm just saying if they lose. Okay. I'm just talking about if they lose.
I'll get the idea. Okay, so they lose, and immediately after, what will the Swifties do naturally? Okay, so personally, just tracking the Swifties over the past couple of weeks, I think we need to do a case study.
It sounds like you're tracking like Godzilla in one of those movies.
The collective football IQ of the Swifties has increased at an exponential rate, a rate so fast, I'm not sure if we've studied anything like this in human history. Okay, the Swifties have gotten up to speed on ball alarmingly quick, way quicker than I anticipated.
Can I interrupt, or are you going to lose your place?
Probably going to lose my place.
Okay, I'll wait.
I to be honest, you just made me lose my place. So
Swifty have been learning ball at an egregiously quick pace is where you were at.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, no, I mean, the thought is now gone. Say what you were going to say.
I shouldn't have said anything to begin with, but I was going to make a joke.
Yeah, I got to think.
Yeah,
no, you say the joke.
You've seen South Park, right? You've seen the episodes of South Park.
Of course.
So there's an episode in there where the NFL comes to the special like added classes science day.
Yes.
And they're trying to get new fans. They're trying to teach water bears to be new fans so they get like $730 million, like million fans in like one stadium.
Oh, yes.
The joke should have been Taylor Swift. They should have gotten the Swifties because that's essentially exactly what this is that episode.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Swifties are fucking smart. Okay. They know ball. Okay. I'm shocked at how quickly they learned ball. They know that shit pretty well. Being Swifties, the natural diehard, the best fans on earth, the Swifties, being the superstars that they are. And we have learned recently that there's nothing they're incapable of. They can literally do anything. They are now going to shift into draft experts, okay? Mel Kiper, your days are counting down. The Swifties are going to take over as the new NFL draft experts. NFL draft hosted by the Swifties. I was going to say halftime performance, but I guess it is a draft. So every 4 commercial breaks, Taylor Swift will sing for 30 seconds. So Taylor Swift will be in draft entertainment. Swiftie takeover for the NFL draft. It's over. Everyone, you need to, instead of listing which college you're from, we list what's your favorite Taylor Swift song when you get drafted. We don't list position. That's not relevant. How much does Taylor Swift like you? That's how we do this now, because that's what matters.
So I might have just found the biggest ESPN kind of bullshit stat of all time. Like it is so just fucking random and stupid that it's like I don't even. Okay. This has to do, like, I swear this definitely is some Swiftie that came up with this, but this has to do with the moon and the Chiefs. All right. The day of the Super Bowl is a waxing crescent moon, and the Chiefs are 19-1 in the last 5 years under a waxing crescent moon conditions.
Can you fill me in on exactly what is a waxing crescent moon? I think I have an idea.
Well,
It's
isn't
the
there
waxing
waxing and
part
waning,
that
right?
that
There's
loses.
waxing. I think it's like the side
So
of the
does
moon that's
waxing mean the
illuminating.
right side, or
Oh, I don't
you can
know.
see the right side or the left side? I'm guessing right side for waxing.
Let's see. Let's see. Uh,
No,
it
no,
says
no.
the moon is illuminated
Waning,
on the
that
left
would be the
side.
right side.
Moon
Waning
illuminated
would be
on
the
the
right
left side is waxing.
Boom. All right. Okay. So yeah, I could see it. I could see the moon now in my head. I now know what a waxing crescent moon look. Crescent?
Crescent.
Right?
Crescent moon.
Yeah, okay. Crescent. Good. I was about to say, I do not know what a present moon is. We gotta educate ourselves
I
here.
hope the moon is present. Otherwise, we're all in a lot of trouble.
True. Yeah, well, I would say I do have one class right now where I was learning that, like, when it's a full
Even astrology.
No, this is a spiritual mind well-being class. Okay. It's for fun. Okay. I had to get 2 units out of the way, guys. But for that class, our professor is just explaining how, like, on a full moon, like, your blood pressure is technically increased. Like, technically the liquids in your body just have higher pressure on a full moon, just like off of the fucking tidal wave shit. How, like, when it's a full moon,
the controls the
waves
water
are stronger. And so, like, I mean, I don't know the exact, I guess, I don't know. When it's a full moon, there's just a larger gravitational pull or some shit. I don't fucking know. Regardless,
now we're getting too sciencey.
When it's a full moon, you are more prone to being, like, angry and aggressive and shit. And so that makes me think that if the Super Bowl is played on a full moon, like, are the guys
turn into werewolves,
more angsty, like a little more, like, aggressive? Like, I don't
honestly
know.
That's probably where the idea of a werewolf came to be, is because they just saw some really hairy dude in the woods just pissed off.
And, like, literally on full moon, like, his blood pressure is increased, so maybe his hair starts standing up on his skin. Like, holy fuck, you're a werewolf.
Last thing before we get into the offseason wish list I have for today. The Broncos are interested in trading up to the #1 pick, specifically for Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I would hate that.
They are pick 12. I don't think that it's possible for them to do that. It would be cool.
And they just did one for Russ, so I don't even know what picks they'd be giving up.
That's why I don't think they have the capital. But also at the same time, like, if I'm the Bears, because you'd have to get up to 1 to get him. From the Bears, like, now you have the 12th pick. I'm taking 3 first-rounders, 3 seconds, because, like, you're desperate. It's like
such a downgrade.
You're like desperate. 3, and then, like, a player. Like, give me or give me 2 first-rounders, 3 seconds, and give me Pat Surtain.
Oh, yeah. There's no way Broncos say yes to that, but that might be what the conversation.
How badly do you want Caleb? How badly do you want Caleb?
That might be how Ryan Poles opens up the conversation. So yeah.
We're never replaying this, but I'm a little concerned that the Bears did this right. It's not gonna be a fun time.
I'd be shocked if the Bears somehow acquired 2 firsts, not even 3 seconds, because I feel like that's just absurd.
I swear to God,
a second and Surtain for Caleb. But I don't think
I swear to God, if these 2 picks in the first round and, like, whoever they get in the second round ends up being, like, fucking Hall of Fame players that turn around their franchise, I'm coming for you, David Tepper. I swear to God.
Tap. Coming for your ass, Tap. So wait, let me think. Bears, they obviously had #1 pick from Carolina. Do they have Carolina's next year or 2 years from now or another first? I think
they have the second round this year, first round this year, third round or some shit like that next year. Maybe it's offset. They have third round this year and second round next year. I don't know.
I'll just peep it again real quick. That awful ass trade.
I honestly do think that is, it could be worse than the Herschel Walker trade.
Oh, they have this first, and then 2023 first. Is that last year's?
That's 2020.
Yeah, that's last
year's.
So this is the last first rounder that the Bears.
How the fuck
you kind of got off nice?
How do you? But it's the fact that they suck so much and gave up so much for Bryce Young when they could have just had Caleb.
Well, that, but I'm saying like
They could have just
now that I think the Bears should have arguably got more in return.
Hold on. Just think about this for a second. They could have had DJ Moore, could have had Jalen Carter. They could have then drafted Caleb this year. Now you have DJ Moore, Jalen Carter, and Caleb Williams.
Ooh. And Adam Thielen.
And Adam Thielen.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking ball right there. So
God
yeah,
damn, David Tepper, you are stupid. Holy,
yeah, these are things we gotta.
Hey, I know you fired the GM because he pulled the trigger, but you're the one who fucking whispered in his ear. He's like, please.
Yeah,
hey,
no.
Man,
realistically, he pulled the trigger. Tepper pulled the trigger there. Come on.
The GM was the bullet.
I'll still never forget like Josh McCown. Like when he was at the Ohio State Pro Day, it literally looked as if he was like Harbaugh with Herbert, like just the biggest man crush ever on CJ Stroud from Josh McCown. And
I legitimately think that, I mean, David Tepper was like, no, we all like him. I legitimately think that nobody in the actual organization as a coach wanted Bryce Young, which is probably the reason why everybody got fired.
No. Yeah.
But
yeah, it could have contributed to like
speaking of the Panthers,
one bad play in training camp. Now the whole staff's like, see, I fucking told you. Like,
speaking of the Panthers, it's really gonna suck now. I mean, it sucks already. The fact that CJ Stroud went after him, but also now that Caleb Williams is the one pick. Jeez, oh my god. Great for CJ Stroud though that he's not there. Fantastic.
I'm so happy for him that he's flourishing. I still can't believe.
All right. Speaking of the Panthers offseason wish list, we are fucking tearing this shit down with the studs. There's no cap space. There's nobody on this team. I don't even know how the fuck that they have no cap space because there is nobody on the team already. It's bewildering to me. Okay. Pray David Tepper sells the team. Trade Miles Sanders, Hayden Hurst, and Dante Jackson. Franchise tag Brian Burns. Tender Raheem Blackshear. Resign Jeremy Chin, Frankie Louvu, Chris Wormley, and Troy Hill. Sign Andre James, Dalton Risner, Tyler Boyd, Ifeadi Odenigbo, Troy Dye, Trey Flowers, Christian Fulton, and Casey Toohill. Restructure Taylor Moton and Adam Thielen.
Okay, Panthers, obviously there's many things on the field that they need to fix. But when you brought up Tepper, I immediately just thought of something that I came across recently, a question pondered upon. Now, I'm not sure if you saw this, but the Baltimore Orioles were sold this morning.
I did see that.
I believe, ironically, Cal Ripken is now like a partial owner of the Orioles,
really?
Which is just very, very lit. But like, Baltimore fans hated their previous owners. Their previous owners, like, and I quote from a Baltimore fans, just sign a free agent. We don't care who, just sign one because they haven't done it in a while. Just spend
breaking news.
Ooh.
There is a strong belief in league circles that Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn will be hired to be the next head coach of the Washington Commanders. Vrabel could be an option, but it is now believed he will take the year off.
Yeah.
I also heard that Mike Vrabel might become a executive analyst or assistant for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Not sure how much credibility there is, but I did hear.
I'm going to cross that one off. That got me excited. I'm, for my own health and sake, I'm just going to act like I didn't hear that. No, that's not an option. Wait, fuck. Where did you hear that from? Where did you hear that from? Because I'm just connect. Elaborate.
I personally do not have the source, but somebody told me that who I know wouldn't say some shit like that without actually having a source.
Because this morning, he technically isn't ink pen to paper, the linebacker coach for Ohio State, but James Laurinaitis. For the past couple of weeks, he has been a big player in many of these recruiting moves. And when Caleb Downs committed that morning, he just tweeted out the all caps. When Julian Sand committed, he just tweeted out the all caps. This morning, he tweeted out the all caps, and there has not been an announcement yet. Everett, if Mike Vrabel is announced as an analyst for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and that is what that V is for, Everett, it's like that one Michigan fan meme. This shit means something to me, man. Like, if that
it quite
happened,
literally
Everett,
would be the last
tears.
stone of the Infinity
I would be
Gauntlet that you need.
crying buckets out of my eyes if Mikey V came home.
If that happens, can you please record yourself reacting to the notification?
Yes, I'm just that's because there's not more big names in the portal, okay? So it wasn't. Why would Lauren Ice tweet out that V? Why would he do that?
I don't know.
These are the questions we have to ask.
Other interesting thing is that Ben Johnson apparently was asking to be paid way too much to become the head coach, and that's the reason why he didn't actually get a job offer instead of actually returning to Detroit.
I heard that Ben Johnson, capital J journalism, allegedly only wanted to accept a potential head coaching job if the Los Angeles Chargers was open. Apparently, he would have only gone if Harbaugh said no. That's what I heard. And
what I heard was if Harbaugh said no, they were going to hire Mike Vrabel.
Yes. So realistically, Ben Johnson would have not been a head coach this year. But I think Ben Johnson, in his thought process, is actually correct here. Okay. Now, earlier we went over Jeff Hafley, the new Packers DC. He was the Ohio State DC after that one season. Now, keep in mind his defense at Ohio State had that guy Chase Young, who went number 2 in the draft. That guy Okuda, who went number 3 in the draft. Damon Arnett, who was another first-round pick on that team. You get what I'm saying.
Not great NFL talent, but yeah, continue.
Yeah, I don't need to discuss Chase Young and his lack of effort. I mean, embarrassing, pathetic, and gross. But Jeff Hafley, if he stayed on board at Ohio State for maybe even just one more year, but let's say 3 years as DC, without question, he would have a top Power 5 head coaching opportunity, without doubt in my mind. But he left after 1 year as the Ohio State defensive coordinator and became the Boston College head coach. Now he's the Packers DC. So, I would say head coach of college football is bigger than DC of an NFL team. That's my opinion. But
also, to be fair, a lot of DCs do end up getting hired to be head coaches in the NFL. So if he does a good enough job, I would say that was.
No, that's true. Like, he's very fortunate that he still is he's 38. So I mean, it's like he's got his whole career ahead of him. But it's some other guys who stain their reputation, making that one jump and then career done. You just do shit, you're out now. And so we'll see what happens. I think for Ben Johnson, he's now one of the top guys on opening head coaching resume, openings. And it's nice to stay there. So if you're in that position,
kind of sucks for Bobby Slowick though, because the reason why I heard he didn't want to go out is because he wanted to be the pristine top offensive young guy coming out for the head coaching job. And now that Ben Johnson's back, it's fine. All I'm going to say, though, is their offense was not great versus the fucking Vikings. So, that's all I'm going to say.
Lions?
Yeah. We almost beat them with our backup quarterback playing both times. So, second time was kind of a disaster. Nick Mullins. Second time was kind of a disaster. First time, almost beat them. But then, they killed TJ Hawkinson. So, okay.
Yeah, I can't stop thinking about you bringing that up with wow.
Second offseason wish
got
list.
Interesting.
And then we'll wrap up the episode. Texans.
Why are my Ohio State sources tweeting pictures of Mike Vrabel in Ohio State? Everett. Oh, it's fucking happening, Everett. Oh my, Everett. It's actually happening. That shit is so. Mike Vrabel's gonna be. Yeah, that's happening. That's the greatest news. That's actually the best news I've heard. I literally told you not even. When did Ohio State lose to Michigan? Thanksgiving. I told you not even 2 months ago. I would, in a heartbeat, take Mike Vrabel over Ryan Day. I just didn't include him on that list because I was like, it's not even possible. I know.
I also didn't think that he would go unless it was going to be a head coach opening. I also didn't think that he would want to spend all that time recruiting, but maybe not.
Well, if he's an analyst, he's technically not allowed to be on those recruiting visits. So he found the loophole there. He found his loophole.
I guess like he'd be like an advisor, I think, to Ryan Day is what it sounds like.
Yeah, like Cliff.
Yeah, like
literally
Cliff.
what Cliff just did. And straight up though, if you look at the current available head coaching openings, might be in his best interest to just chill for a second and wait for. Let's play a little fun little game. I know we got to get to your list in a second, but next year, quick openings. Bears open.
Depends how this year goes, but yeah, Bears
open. Panthers could be open again.
Cardinals could be
open again. Cardinals open. Cardinals will be open.
Hold on, I gotta pull up a list of all these teams to stare at.
Yeah, the best way to do this is just go by division, but like
Bills could be open.
Jets could be open. Giants could be open. Eagles could be open. Commanders could be reopen.
Jaguars could be open. Cardinals could be open.
AFC North is safe.
Eagles.
AFC North is safe.
Eagles could be open.
Titans. Well, he's not going back there, so count. Jags might be open.
I said that.
Oh.
Saints. Do you say Saints?
Yeah, that will be open after next season. ATL could reopen. I think Bulls is safe in Tampa. What do you think?
I think after this year he's safe, but I also though if they end up shitting the bed next year, I don't like if it really was
he now
Canales,
has the expectation to make it back.
If it really was Canales just fucking working wonders on Baker Mayfield, then he could just be on the out. Like if they go fucking 2-12, like I thought, or 2-14, whatever, like I thought they were gonna go, then
potentially Raiders. I think
I don't think they'll fire after 1 year. I don't think they fire him after 1 year.
So AFC best and AFC North.
Possibly like 12 teams. So there's a lot.
Seattle, but I think
McDonald
I
just
could be wrong, but
just
I
signed
think
there.
Vrabel just declined Seattle.
I don't know, but McDonald just signed there, so they're gonna have him for like 3 years. He's about to sign there, but okay. Houston offseason wish list. Here we go. Big time. Sign Saquon Barkley, Jalen Johnson, Geno Stone, and Aaron Brewer. Resign Dalton Schultz, Jonathan Greenard, Noah Brown, Chris Boyd, Cameron Johnston, Kaimi Farnbarn, Tier Tart, John Weeks, Blake Cashman, Denzel Perryman. Restructure Titus Howard, tender DJ Scaife Jr., Dieter Iselin, and D'Angelo Ross, and trade Robert Woods.
Okay, so, many things that could be happening real quick. I just got to say, as a USC guy, just Bobby Trees, we love you. Okay, Robert Woods, dog, animal, okay? That is a USC Trojan right there, okay? Pretty sure, yeah, he went to J. Sarah, fucking legend. His high school used to whoop my ass every time we played. But yeah, that's actually the only takeaway I had. What other wide receivers did you have in there? I'm just interested.
Noah Brown is the only other wide receiver that he's signing. Re-sign him. Because my thought process is, look, once Tank Dell comes back, Tank Dell's going to be the 2. Nico Collins is the 1. You're paying Robert Woods $10 million next year, and he's 32. Like, Noah Brown's coming back. You'll probably draft a younger wide receiver. Robert Woods just really wasn't being used and probably is not worth paying that amount. So I don't think that it makes sense to keep him. And because of that, I think that it's just better to trade him and try to get a draft pick to get a younger guy that might come in. Like Xavier Hutchinson's going to be there. John Mechie is back. Like Robert Woods might not get PT as much next year. And because of that, I know you want to kind of have a veteran presence there, but he had it last year. I don't think he's going to play, and I don't think because of that it's worth to pay him. But the big things are Saquon. You're getting your running back, another weapon for CJ. Just think about that offense with Saquon Barkley. And then Jalen Johnson, cornerback from Chicago. Arguably the best cornerback in this free agency class. you're getting him to pair with Stingley instead of re-signing Stevie Nelson, who's 31 years old.
I think for Houston, they're in a very fun situation with their cap space. Like, I mean, whoever, I don't know who their GM is, but that you got free reign.
It's the guy from the Patriots who fired 2 head coaches subsequently in back-to-back years. That guy.
So, maybe he's more of a finance budget.
But
player,
it is just they have like 69.
GM,
They have a lot of free agents, but they have like $69.9 million in free agency to spend this year, something like that. So they'll have to re-sign a lot of guys, but they have the ability to sign some big name players. And some people have been like, okay, every single offseason wish list, he like restructures somebody or trades or cuts some like big contract. That's how I choose to do these things. All right. That's how I choose to manipulate the finances to make things work. I also get things down to be about $3, $4, $5, $6 million left in cap space by the end of all these moves, and be able to do that and get you guys big name players. It requires restructures. Not every team does restructures, but a lot of teams do. And the teams that don't, you can kind of tell because they don't have the rosters and finances set up to be able to do that with many players. But regardless, that's for the Texans. Unless you have anything else to say, we can wrap up the episode here. So,
I just want to say, since you broke the news that Mike Vrabel will become the new Cliff Kingsbury for the Ohio State Buckeyes, I can't think anymore. This is amazing. I genuinely cannot even process anything in my head anymore. This TikTok might be delayed tonight, guys. I'm sorry. Like, oh my fucking God. Mike Everett. Oh my God. Okay.
With that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, rate us 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at Waterboy Pod. Make sure you follow me and Grant on Twitter at Everett69, Waterboy Grant. We post new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.
Dude, just
on Spotify and all podcast platforms
JT,
and YouTube.
Tui Molau and Jack Sawyer with Vrabel as their position coach for their
Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode. We post new TikToks every Tuesday to Sunday, unless Grant gets distracted by Mike Vrabel, in which case it'll come up later. So make sure you want to turn on notifications and follow us so that you know.
Dude, CJ Hicks might be good at
TikTok
football
comes
again.
out.
Oh my fucking God. Sonny Styles is definitely moving to linebacker.
We post on Instagram.
Put him back in his main
follow
position.
us there as well. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Waterboy's out.